Hey guys, I'm back with another candle review, and this time around it's for the 14.5 ounce 3-wick pumpkin cupcake candle from Bath & Body Works, part of the current fall collection. The notes on this read whipped buttercream, Madagascar vanilla, pumpkin spice, and freshly baked cupcake. So yes, this one's been out for quite some time. I think it originally came out in 2012 as a Slacken & Co. scent and a juicy photo label. It always used to come out in orange wax and had a traditional like pumpkin orange fall vibe to it. And then somewhere along the way, they kind of rebranded it and started giving it white wax and giving it more of like a pink aesthetic to it, as you see here. And ever since I did that, I feel like it kind of like changed the scent as well. But even prior to that, there were versions of the orange wax one that used to kind of smell like corn chips or like jalapeno tortilla chips. It was just really strange. There was like a weird corn chips and like spicy component to it that was really odd. And there would be like some years where you would get like one batch that did smell like that, and then another batch that had different wicks but would perform differently and wouldn't smell like corn chips. It's just like this is a very like I guess storied history, so to speak. But yes, so the orange wax version used to come out a lot, and then they stopped releasing it. I guess it just wasn't as popular so much. So then that's when they rebranded it as the pink label and white wax, kind of similar to what we see here now. But yes, the white wax and the pink label version just never performed as well as the orange wax version did. It always did out. It was substantially weaker and just didn't have the full, like, I don't know, robustness that the original orange wax one did. So it's been a few years since they did the rebrand to the white wax and the pink label. So it's like, you know what, let me check it out this year and see if it's returned to what it used to be. And it's kind of yes and no. So any case, we'll go into performance later, but what does this smell like? I have to say, when it's burning for the first half, it does smell largely similar to like the original pumpkin cupcake that I really used to enjoy back in the day, and does have a little bit of throw, at least in the first half of the candle. So what it smells like is you get a lot of the buttercream note in there, mixed with like a cake batter or like a baked cupcake note. It has that kind of like yellow cake plus buttercream type of like ooey gooey, like frosted cupcake type of fragrance is definitely in there. You get the sweet sugariness in there of the cake that's kind of like baking in the oven, mixed with heaps of a buttercream that is spiced. And there is a little bit of a pumpkin spice note in here that's definitely detectable. It's a very much mass appeal bakery fragrance, and the cupcake slash, I guess, muffin bakery note also kind of reminds me of the base that's in banana walnut muffin. So if you enjoy banana walnut muffin, it's not quite as like fresh baked and delicious and scrumptious and authentic as banana walnut muffin is, but a similar cakey vibe to banana walnut muffin, but spiced with pumpkin spice rather than with bananas and walnuts. So there is a little bit of a similarity there. But yes, you get like a sort of basic yellow vanilla cake type of fragrance with like heaps of buttercream, and think of like a pumpkin spice like frosting on top of it is what I get from it. It kind of comes off smelling a little Play-Doh-y, and it's not the most authentic cupcake fragrance out there, just because, yeah, it tends to get a little icky or plasticky or waxy, especially during the mid-range point, but it does pretty good for the first few burns, and it smells kind of like the pure pumpkin cupcake fragrance. I feel like this might be a little bit better in wallflower or in a format where it doesn't get scorched by the heat in the flames. So that's pretty much what pumpkin cupcake smells like. You can actually kind of smell it, at least at the beginning this year, whereas in past years I've had it and it would just completely nub out and just like have no throw and no fragrance whatsoever, like from the first burn. So this one you can at least smell it for like, let's say the first 3 or 4 burns, so at least we're good to go there. And then there's just so much to talk about in performance. Let me just get into that right now. So this is a 6th day burn, I believe. I want to make sure to get it at like at least 6 days, because this one's one of those that tends to really nub out and dud out and kind of turn for the worse. And it indeed has done that for this candle. So I would say the first 3 burns were great. It had the thick rope-like wicks. I wasn't trimming them too much because I just knew this one would dud out, as a lot of vanilla scents tend to do. And so this one was doing great for the first 3 burns. It had a thick rope-like wicks. It wasn't making a lot of mushroom tops, so it still had a vicious burn, and it was pulling out like regularly, and it was still throwing regularly. But then I would say it really started to decline in the 4th, 5th, and 6th burn. It would start to get a lot, the wicks would become a lot punier. You can see even at the 6th day here, it's still pulling out. It takes a little bit slower to pull out, but the flames are really starting to die, and it's nowhere near as vicious as it was at the beginning. beginning. So the first 3 days had that pure pumpkin cupcake fragrance that I was talking about, and it was, totally good, a-okay. But then it definitely became a lot more scorched and nasty smelling. It's like actually quite rancid on the 5th and 6th burn. It really smells like burnt like Play-Doh and burnt waxy like vanilla cake and just like a really like spent used wax type of fragrance to it. So you really can only get like true satisfaction out of this candle for maybe just the first half of the candle, but the second half has just been really unpleasant, and it just smells like burnt scorch, like used gross like fake Play-Doh-y smelling waxy like cupcake vanilla fragrance, and it has not been good since the 4th burn. So there's that. As for the throw, it was once again doing good for the first 3 burns. I would say anywhere from a 6 to a 7. I don't think it was strong as the original one was, but a definite improvement over some of those really unscented white wax versions that I got like back in was it 2017 or 18 or something like that, where they just would be completely unscented and nub out on the first burn. At least we didn't get that. So we're still getting a good 6 to a 7 medium range for the first 3 burns. I would say it's definitely declined again after that, just because it's not burning as hot and it's starting to smell like plasticky and waxy and burnt. And now it's more down to like a 3. I can't really smell it a whole lot in an open concept area. Maybe like a 3 in an open concept area, and then maybe like a 3 to a 4 in a bedroom. So definitely a notch down from, actually a few notches down from what it was at its peak. But once again, it does still smell really burnt and gross right now. So it's not like I really want to smell this fragrance as it's performing right now. So kind of unfortunate, but totally expected. And that's why I definitely wanted to burn this one more than just once, because this one definitely starts to nub out and dead out at the mid-range point, and it most certainly has done that. So I would only recommend this candle if you don't mind just having like the first 4 burns of it, but it comes really degraded after that. So just a heads up on that. That's pretty much it for the performance on this candle. Overall, while it has improved from some of those really terrible versions that we had in the past years, this one's really only satisfying for about 3 to 4 burns, and after that it really degrades. I can't really I wouldn't repurchase it, and I can't really possibly recommend it unless you really just only burn your candles once or twice, or if you just use candles for decoration. But if you plan on using this for the entirety of the candle, at least in my version, did not do so hot after the 4th, 5th, and 6th burn, and it's really just not performing that great, and it really smells burnt and grody and nasty, so I can't really recommend it for that. I would have to say, at least on the first 3 burns though, it had a really nostalgic quality to it, and I was really enjoying it. It was kind of back to how Pumpkin Cupcake used to be, but yeah, it's just really nubbed out and sort of, I don't know, just nasty smelling right now. So it is what it is. Take this review for what it's worth. Let me know your comments down below if you burned this candle or how it's performed. Let me know down below, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.